brought to you by GameFound. Create a free pledge manager for your project.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
My mic's off. Wait, hold on.
Hi, Mike.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
There we go.
Hey.
And I'm Mike Alessio.
Welcome to Crowdsurfing, a show where we talk about Kickstarters and GameFound projects and probably soon backer kit projects.
Yes.
That's
My
some
goodness.
news. That maybe mention it here. I'm telling you what to do, but since we're not doing news this week, this might be a good time to even mention that if people haven't
Nope.
heard.
Anyhow,
You get nothing.
now, Backer Kit has announced they're starting their own crowdfunding platform, and they didn't pull any punches,
No.
stealing people from both Kickstarter and GameFound.
Big projects.
And some
announced.
projects already have a date set for launching.
Yeah.
And from
Right.
CrowdOx.
Crowd off.
No, CrowdOx is now owned by Backer Kit. Backer Kit's big.
I was joking. I forgot who CrowdOx was.
Kickstarter is not having a good day, I'm sure, between GameFound and Backer Kit, both horning in on this. The first project from Backer Kit will be, Gloomhaven Miniatures.
Yeah, I'm
In
sure
case
that may make a few bucks.
You wanted to store all hundreds of miniatures for the game, for the monsters. Although I did see that Frosthaven's delivering soon.
Ah,
We're way off topic here.
okay. No, it's all crowdfunding projects. This
That's
is
true. We are
different.
talking about crowdfunding projects. Another thing I noticed this week as I was going through the projects was, for a while,
They're all heavy hitters. That's what you noticed.
not quite.
No.
But I noticed for a while it was like GameFound was like, hey, you want to put your project on here? You got a big project, put it on. You got a big project? It's very clear now that anything goes on
It's
GameFound.
open. Yeah. It's
Go.
clear that when they were but finally said anybody can jump on here, anybody did.
Everybody did, yes,
You know?
everybody did.
Yes.
I wonder at some point, I'm always picky. We don't look at every Kickstarter project,
Right.
or this would sound like the most negative show ever. We may have to get there with GameFound at some point.
Yeah.
All right. That being said, here we go. Again, all the opinions are our opinions, obviously. Printed wooden tokens. Now, this seems like it would be something that I would back to the max.
But
I don't feel like these look professional.
Okay.
Did you go and look at any of their first ones? Because this is their second one.
I think I
Have you
I
seen
did
them in
not.
person?
No,
Okay,
have
I've
you?
always seen-
have
No,
we
I haven't
seen
either,
these in
no.
person in Germany, though? I feel like maybe we have seen these.
Well, we haven't been to Germany.
In
This
Germany
is the first one they did.
specifically?
Yeah. These,
No, but we've seen, this is a German company, and I think they're at Essen.
Maybe. Well, no, we've. Oh, you think this is the same company that makes all those wooden pieces?
I don't know. I thought maybe
The
it
thing
was.
is, look at this pirate. This is from the first one here.
It's a real pirate with a
and the,
real
and
eyeball.
the samurai stuff. And
Also eyeballs.
the problem with these, wait, is that record in both? I thought I saw that record.
record?
Sorry.
A 30, like a
A disc.
30.
What do they call
Oh, I know.
Vinyl. I'm
no,
sorry.
No,
You're too cool.
I wasn't being hipsterish. I literally didn't know what you were talking about. Okay. Got it now.
Some of these would work, but some of them look cartoony and then will therefore mismatch the game that they're in.
I think that's an issue
Right.
already across the board. I think even with some of the higher end ones like MeepleSource, I think it depends on the game. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I mean?
MeepleSource makes them for the specific games.
Like Scythe, which looks cartoony, which to me doesn't match.
Only you bother about that.
That is
But
not
this-
true.
That was a bad
But this
grammar.
one here, they're trying to
You
make
are
them-
bothered only.
Here, this
Sorry.
one, they're making them generic, but then trying to lump them together. So rather than making it for the game,
Right.
it's generic stuff being grouped together for you, so you're not having to
Right.
buy individually.
Yeah.
I had a problem with it because Cascadia specifically, I was looking at you pull the chits from the bag and you want them to all be the same shape because it's supposed to be
Right.
random. And so I had some concerns with some of these as well.
Oh,
that-
this for Cascadia?
Yeah, there's one of the groups is for Cascadia, and they have the different animal tokens, which I think is really cool, but it's not going to go with the
Yeah.
game. Like, you're not going to be able
Right.
to use it.
Right.
Arc Nova I could see, although the ones I have with no pictures on, I like them better than this. Arkham Horror, that's a little cartoony for the game.
And they've done so many. Like,
Yeah.
everybody and their cousin has made a set of these. You go on Etsy and be swamped by this kind of stuff.
True, although it seems like the prices are pretty reasonable on this, right? That's one thing I noticed is that the prices seem relatively reasonable, but I don't know.
I love blinging out games, and yet this stuff does not appeal to me. It doesn't feel like it matches the games.
Right, well,
And I'm a huge stickler for that, as you know. For me,
I am too,
it's
actually.
kind of funny because 2 component upgrades One of them I despise, the other I love, and that is these kinds of things, wooden bits that clearly are just printed on there, and I just don't like the way they look. They always seem cartoony. They never fit the vibe. The other end of the spectrum, metal coins.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I go nuts for some metal
I do
coins.
like
Oh, you like metal coins?
Yeah. I mean, that.
So you don't like when the company themselves will screen print their meeples?
I am indifferent when they do it.
I do like
I
screen
dislike
printing.
it when other companies do it. I'm not a big fan of it.
So you don't like all my stickers I've been putting on?
I wouldn't go that far, Tom. I'd go farther.
I like the stickers I've been putting on. All right, I got
They
more in the mail.
sicken me. Violently sicken me. You don't open some of those boxes.
Oh my word! I think we would smell that by now. All right, moving on. We already looked at that. Okay, here we go. So to GameFound. Like I said, there's a lot of small projects on GameFound this week. Enigma, crime scene, quote, Chicago and Sicily. Not sure why that's in quotes.
Well, they also have, quote, Miami and New York, I think, right? Is it Miami and New York, the other one? I know one is Miami
It's
in
that
this.
one. Yeah, it's all
Yeah,
Miami.
it's like an add-on.
I'm surprised. This
Yeah, I
is,
wonder if those are real people they took pictures of.
you think that's part of the problem?
I think there's a few issues. One is that it feels like they've hodgepodged things from a bunch of other things that are like this
Yes.
and threw them all together. It's like, oh, let's take these cheap VR glasses from
Right.
Chronicles of Crime and do that. So it seems like they're kind of doing a Chronicles of Crime thing.
I think in many ways, to me, it sounds and reads better than it's going to end up being. Some things, when presented to you in here, like there's a fingerprint kit. I'm like, ooh, that's cool. How much can you really do in a game with a fingerprint kit?
Yeah.
Right.
Find a fingerprint.
Sure.
Then you're like, okay, I found the finger. I mean, like, then what? That's not that interesting. It just sounds interesting the first time you read it or see a 3-second image of someone going, ooh, a fingerprint. Great, but
Right.
then what? And I think you're right. It looks like Deception, Murder in Hong Kong font with the gameplay of Chronicles of Crime. It's just a hodgepodge.
And a little bit of Sherlock Holmes, consulting detective.
Yes, that's the best way to put it.
I do think the little magnetic pinboard is clever. That's a clever little component. I don't,
You're
you
right.
know.
But that's also only the deluxe.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This needs to come with a full bottle of luminol so you can spray around your house looking for blood spatter. Then I'm in. 100% I'm in.
interested.
So it's
Yeah.
Miami. Oh,
It's
and
Miami.
crypto. It was crypto.
It's a crypto bro.
I'm out.
No. You're finding that guy guilty of murder.
He's guilty, all right. And there's a metallic $100 bill.
With some clearly fake things thrown on it, so it's not.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
not
with some
illegal.
clues. You're supposed to look for clues, and then on that coin, you're supposed to use the coin as a
But they say
riddle.
it's replayable. Like, how often? I mean,
And that
you know?
that concerned me, like with the fingerprint thing, specifically the fingerprint kit. Like, well, what if you touch it? What if, like your fingerprints get on? Like, how are they going to do that to be able to be repackaged? like,
It was me.
it's you. Right, like,
I don't know. This one sounds great on paper. And this is more you, Tom. This is your
definitely
speed, or
you.
at least you've done a lot of them, let's
I'm
say.
thrown off by the mishmash of everything. It doesn't have one consistent look. Also, they haven't proven themselves. Even Lucky Duck, I will be honest, I think I was pretty suspicious of that app when it first came out.
Sure, why not? Yeah, it's new tech.
Right.
This is not tech, but
There is
I don't know.
some
It just
tech,
feels
I think.
like there's going to be a lot of borrowing, I'll say.
it's borrowing from proven games, but I don't feel like it's proving that it's borrowing well, if that makes sense.
Right, it
you
might
know, and
still not
that's
be
what's
doing it
concerning.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
I just realized we're on the.
We're on the wrong side.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
We're on the wrong sides again.
Yeah,
down
we're
at the
checking
bottom.
out the walls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here we go. Get ready. Get ready for this. Bang, 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 bang,
Wait.
bang, 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 bang,
Is this gonna be
bang,
magic?
bang,
Where did we go, Mike?
bang, bang, bang.
Where did we go?
Yeah.
All right. Next project.
Now I'll just make sure I look over here every
This
time I
is-
want to talk to you guys.
This is Z's pick of the week.
Which one?
The finest fish.
No, I didn't think it was that interesting, Tom.
It sounds like a children's book title.
I don't understand what the issue. I think this is charming.
I like this one as well. You really didn't.
No, I really didn't. This was
Oh, interesting.
this did nothing for me.
You don't think that picture right there looks really cool?
I think it looks
It's
great.
cute, yeah. I
It's
guess.
but you're from what I gather, I'm going to speak for you. This
Go ahead,
imagine
please.
that this is Z
Tom already.
speaking right now. Imagine this is Z speaking. Mike, you're a very handsome man. Also, I have a feeling you are you are sick of these kind of contract fulfillment pattern building type thing. You've mentioned you're kind of over that.
This
right?
is nothing new here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. They're shaped like scales,
which are adorable.
which tessellates because of the shape.
Right.
That's amazing. That's also all you're doing here that's different. Make a large group of the same color that touches and make a pattern. Just shoot me instead. I'm sorry. No, there's nothing about this I find interesting.
I'm kind of with him on this. I think it looks amazing.
Right.
I think it looks cool, but I don't like how this game plays.
There are like 2 or 3 games that I can think of offhand that I'm like, oh, it's similar to that, it's similar to that. That's my biggest issue. But
That's a little bit of the problem.
no, I'm
sure.
kind of. I think
very
it's
cute.
adorable, and I think that there are some people who will be charmed by it. However, it's not funding very well.
I don't think those people are going to find it.
Yeah.
Again, this is a game that should have just been published, and I get it. You can't do that. I'm not saying you should have. I'm saying you should have, but I'm saying you couldn't. You couldn't have. That's fine. This is not a game that's going to do well here.
Yeah.
Right. I will agree with that. I mean, I am more with Mike. Like, I was charmed by it. I thought it was cute. I like and again, it's nothing new. I get that. But the kind of multi-use, almost resource management where your scales, are you putting them out there? Are you using them with a fishbowl to trade out, to buy a contract, things like that. So I was charmed by it. I thought it was interesting. But I absolutely agree. I don't think this is a crowd-funded project necessarily. If I saw this in the store, I would absolutely probably buy it.
Yeah.
Really? You liked it that much?
I really thought it was really cute, yeah.
Got to give a shout out to Loopy with the I'm not sure it scales well joke. That's good. That's good, Loopy. I got to give you that one.
All right. Test of Faith, the Arab-Israeli War of 1973. This is the 6-day war, right? I believe
that's what they're referring to.
Or
but
it's close
Mike,
to
you're
it.
a history teacher. You should know this stuff offhand.
Look at the time, Z. 2 to 45 hours.
Surely they
longer
mean
than 6 days.
4.5 hours.
We are going to start this tomorrow morning,
Let's go.
and it will take
it's-
the entirety of the marathon.
Solo.
If they are saying, I love the complexity, medium to high,
45 hours.
medium to high, that means, to me, nigh impenetrable. You know what I mean? Especially 45 hours.
Yeah.
Ooh, this has to be one of the heaviest games we've ever shown here. I know we've shown a few war games.
Yeah.
Every now and then we'll show a game of that type, but I don't think any of them say 45
I don't
hours.
think so.
Let's see how long the rule book is.
Here we go.
Let's hit it.
Compass games we've covered. Oh, I like
Okay,
that.
so far so good.
I thought it said in the
nice.
video it was like
Yes.
35 pages.
Okay.
Because in the rule, I'm not the rule book, the
This is
video.
actually a pretty well laid
I
out
was
rule
gonna say,
book.
I'm impressed by this right here.
Okay, I'm doing okay so far. I got it. Yeah, got it. Wait, go back one. I missed that bit.
Oh my gosh.
There's okay.
They have a, well, like that. They have a
Okay.
cup of snafu markers.
Who doesn't like a nice warm cup of snafu?
I think I'd reread my textbooks over this.
Ooh,
That's a lot.
yeah. All right. I'm good.
Medium to high complexity.
All right, you guys ready to play? Let's go.
Let's go.
Card slicers, quick combat with dice and cards.
Is anyone familiar with this YouTube channel?
No,
I'm
you are.
not.
Oh, no, I'm not. That was a
Oh.
question. I wanna,
You are. Go
I
ahead.
am not. No. There's pizza. That's about all I know of it. Isn't it
Pizza?
like metal pizza? What's it called?
I
don't
don't
even
remember.
remember
I
the
honestly
YouTube
don't
channel. It's
remember.
like
It was some sort of pizza-centered
plastic pizza,
Joke.
metal pizza.
joke channel, I guess. I don't know.
I don't.
Humor, I should say.
It's funded. 100 people are fans of the channel
101.
because they
Yeah.
ain't fans of this art.
The guy was talking about how when he was young, he wanted to design. He liked D&D, and they wouldn't let him play D&D as a child, right?
Right.
And then he got into collectible card games in the 90s. Always wanted to make their own, but they were too complex. So then this is bringing the old notes of him inventing his own version of D&D,
Right.
thinking what it might be like because he hadn't played, and collectible card games, and pizza, because he
and-
runs a channel now about pizza.
Wait, so he's a channel about pizza?
No, it's
No,
not
he's got
about
a channel
pizza.
about like some
Because I would watch a channel
superhero.
about pizza.
No.
It's like a superhero character named
Right.
Pizza Man, or the
yeah, it's
I'm talking out of my butt. I have no
it looked
idea.
like
It's
some,
about
like,
pizza.
Power Ranger
That's
thing,
one of the villains.
honestly, is what it looked like, kind of Power Ranger-y, this art
I was
style.
butt man.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a self-published YouTube series.
In any case, the card game does not look tremendous.
Right.
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
Moving on to Umbrella Academy, the board game. Now, real quick, let me show you. This is the original Umbrella Academy card game. That's how they're getting around it.
Yes.
This one did very well, 358,000 until it was published.
Right, it
is now ranked at 22,298 on Board Game Geek, just above single card game.
Yeah. It got
it's below
decimated.
Spoons. This is widely panned. If you go to the Kickstarter page, people don't even know how to play it. It's pretty terrible. I mean, it is even like, usually these Kickstarter games have some backers. I've seen nobody say anything good about this game.
Okay.
No, it's gotten pretty universally panned, yeah.
I never heard of that one. All right.
That being said, I would imagine it has something to do with the fact that this one's not doing well.
Right.
Is this from the same company or
It
just
is not. It is not. I want to be clear on
just
that.
the same IP, not even the same designer, same company, none of that.
No, this is a company that's more well known. It's Mantic.
Right.
Right.
It's a cooperative game. I don't know what the other game was because no one could figure it out.
I will say, this is twice now. Maybe my expectations have been lowered so much, but the price for what they're offering seems pretty reasonable to me.
Well, if it's like other Mantic games, the miniatures are really cool. They do a good job of miniatures, and there's no game.
Okay.
But I might be wrong, and I
Yeah.
am definitely biased against Mantic games because all the ones I played I have not liked.
Is this the guys who did the Hellboy one?
This is Hellboy
Yes.
people, yeah, same people.
They also did that chess game with dice, which sounds
Dice chess.
like something I would like, and I didn't.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I like the look, and just like the Hellboy one, which I did not play. I did look through it, but I didn't play. I like the look. I thought the token quality in that other game was kind of low. Miniatures were not bad, though. But yes, they are... When I think of Mantic as a miniatures game maker, or a game with miniatures, I don't automatically assume top quality. They're somewhere in the middle.
There's just a lot of people that are not known for like solid game design coming together, and so that is a little concerning. You know what I mean? You've got a comics kind of getting into board gaming. You've got a miniatures company that doesn't have the best track record. I don't know. I mean, it's an IP-based game, so you're kind of banking on people that like the IP to come in on
But
it.
those people are coming in burned from something that had nothing to do with this company, but they're
that's
coming in
true.
burned.
If you are a fan of the Umbrella Academy and you're a gamer, you probably backed that previous one.
Yeah.
Gameplay, I kind of got like Marvel United vibes from this though.
Okay.
Did y'all, as you were watching through it?
Only in the sense you're moving around locations and things like
and
that.
they have the things on the bottom that you have to fill up with the tokens in
that's
order
true.
to defeat that
That's true.
person.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, you're
kind
right.
of
No,
felt-
it's a little bit like that. I really don't care for Umbrella Academy. I saw a little bit of it
Me
for the
too. I saw
TV
a few
show.
of the episodes.
I like it.
Not read the comic either. I
Yeah.
should point that out.
Me neither.
Have you read the comic?
I like the comic and the TV show. I think I like the TV show better than the comic, actually.
Really? What
The
an
comic is
animal.
it's very weird. The TV show is less weird. Sometimes I need a little bit more grounding in real life. Like, the people have just really weird looks to them in the comic. So when you go down and look at where's the art of the comic? Like, these are, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just that they're very comic-y. They're almost like they stepped out of a page of a cartoon on TV.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to say, am I mistaken here that the base game or the regular game just has tokens? The miniatures are actually the deluxe or the collectors, like whatever upgraded pledge as well. Is that right?
But it looks like there's only one edition of the game on offer, which is the collector's edition.
Which is the collector's edition,
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
the only
Maybe they're going to
one?
put another one
I
out.
think the
later?
tokens,
Retail later.
the tokens may be an upgrade, but the collector's edition is the only one they're
Okay.
actually doing here.
Yeah, I'm still surprised this hasn't done well, so I'm not sure what the reason is. The only thing I can think of is that the last one was so bad.
Right. That could be.
That's not a bad
That's
reason.
interesting.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on to WARSPITE. Fury on the Open Sea, which is actually a really cool name. And then that ship, I'm like, oh, it's a tabletop miniatures game. But that name sounds
It
cool.
does, and I'm not interested in these
Can't
types
see
of
that either,
games,
though.
but I'll tell you, I like the look of these. I think this is a cool looking product. I'm not interested in the gameplay because it's not the type of game that I've ever really had much interest in. But I think that looks really cool to me.
That picture right there, when I got to that picture right there, it took me a while to figure out that was a support for a plane.
Yeah.
I was like, Is that the volley trajectory of one ship shooting at another one? Mm-hmm. That can't be right. That's a really awful trajectory. That would be like a, an old warship or something. But then I realized it's a little plane at the top of that arch. I'm like, got it.
I don't know if I like that, actually. I don't know if I like that support, but the ships look great.
I think that all looks really cool. And you can get the painted ships. You can get them already pre-painted.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So, I don't know. Again, I have no interest in anything that involves a ruler like this. Even like for house projects, I refuse to use
this picture. I'm out.
Yeah.
When they show the
tape measure.
But I like the look of the little models. So.
All right, now we have sketch and draft bicycle playing cards.
Here we go.
You were hitting me with the awful playing cards this week.
I like these. I think that's a cool look.
I think they're fine.
Okay. This is the slightly better of the two, I'll say that.
I will say, and I'm not...
I don't like the hole punch.
I don't like these, actually.
Yeah.
But I like the first ones. I like the first half.
I like it minus the not the whole punch.
Torn page, like spiral.
Yeah,
the spiral you would find.
Bound.
Ugh.
I will say maybe
I really like that. That's cool.
This probably says more about me than it should, but I can't not look at that Joker card and not see something flipping the bird. I know it's not.
I thought that was what it was too.
Absolutely looks like flipping the bird.
It's
the index finger up. Yes.
No, I don't like these, Tom. And then again, the blueprint ones are, I think, worse. I will say, I think the blueprint ones clearly are more distinct.
Yeah.
And I could see myself giving these to someone who is an architect.
Right.
Or something of that nature as a gift. Mm-hmm. Right. That's very neat to be like, hey, I thought of you. Mm-hmm. Open up a normal deck of cards, but they're all blueprints. Haha. That's a cool idea for a gift. I would never be interested personally in these. I think they both look pretty bad. That draft one, really bad. That's interesting that you like these, the sketch ones.
I like the sketch ones, yeah.
All right, well, they're in the mail.
All right, Keydom's Dragons. So once again, let's do some background. Keydom's Dragons comes from Aladdin's Dragons, which came from Keydom. Mm-hmm. Keydom's a very rare game. I don't if you could get that one. Aladdin's Dragon, not as rare.
No, it's in the library, yes.
We have one of the
and it wasn't like I had to move heaven and earth to get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's back to Keydom's Dragons, which... I don't know why they couldn't have just left it Aladdin's Dragons. Frankly, I know Richard Brees wants everything to start with the word key.
Aladdin's Dragons. Keydom's Dragons. Next game's going to be called Aladdin. There's a reason.
The card game based on Keydom's Dragons.
Right. Chris is a big fan of this
I also find it humorous that they threw in the Games Magazine Game of the Year.
For himself or like with his family?
Like his kids? Like he's taught it here a couple of times. Like he likes Aladdin's Dragons.
I either give it a 7 or 8, but it's a pretty solid game.
It's got some years on it, and you can feel it a little bit. But
is it the first worker placement game? That's what the public demands to know.
It is not.
There's some talk out there that it is the first worker placement game.
Wait, R&D and is widely recognized as the world's first
There you go, widely
game?
recognized, Tom. It's widely recognized. Keydom. Here we go.
Hit him with it, Tom. Way out west.
No, but it's not a worker placement game. No, there's not worker placement because you're putting down people in an area, and whoever has the highest amount wins it. That's bidding. It's not worker placement.
Do you
I think
get
worker
something
placement
from a
would insinuate that you get something for placing.
Well, you do get something for winning, but it's area control.
For winning, when we finally resolve them all.
I'm just poking
bear. It is not widely recognized as the world's first worker placement game.
That's it. That's been settled.
However, that being said, I like it because it has blind bidding, but you see the number of tokens people put places.
Yeah.
I always thought the end game is a little tricky in this one because you have to get past a guard.
Yeah, but that was Aladdin's fault. He's gone.
I don't know.
Fix that.
I don't know if they've changed that or not, but the problem with this art, the art looks fine, but they kept the chiclets.
Right.
From the Aladdin's Dragon, which I like, but the art looks like every other Keydom game. This is suffering from the Valeria syndrome.
Yeah, but I think that's what they're going for. I have a suspicion that you've got a bigger issue with that than many other people do.
To be fair, the names of the key games are different. The names are all different.
Yeah.
It's not blank of Valeria.
No, it's true.
I honestly cannot tell which is which, and they're like a fantasy-esque word.
Right.
That being said, though, this Keyflower, then Keyflow, I find that easy to mix up.
And Key to the City.
And there's
London.
Keyflower of different cities.
Yeah, maybe.
It is starting to get a little hairier now. But I hope this one does well.
Yeah. It's funding already, I believe, right?
I'm surprised they don't have more reviews shown off here. The game's been, the original game was reviewed a lot.
Yeah. Well, maybe they've changed it enough that they don't want to, necessarily associate
but this
it
isn't,
with that.
Or
this
have
isn't
its
blowing
own
the
stuff.
doors down.
No.
It's at 30,000 from 400 backers. There's only 4 days.
But honestly, look at, if you check other R&D projects, I don't think that Richard Breeze's games tend to blow the roof off. I think they always fund. He's got a pretty, core group.
Keyflower has a pretty strong...
Keyflower was the
That's the biggest
outlier there
one,
that
yeah.
did very well, I think.
Let's look at his last couple
Okay,
that
here
he
we
did.
go.
Keyflow probably did okay.
Key Etsy, Key Market, Keyflow. These are the only 3 that went to Kickstarter. The rest he's just published himself.
Yeah.
This has 71. This has 93, and this is 38. Keyflow.
It is doing lower than the average. Yeah, you're
It
right.
also has 4 days left, though,
Yeah,
so it could be
that's
up there
true.
with those.
Yeah, it should get another 10.
I'm holding out for
Hero.
Cathedral.
Yeah, I'm with you there. All right. Shrooms, Mycology, the game. This is... Didn't we talk about the other Shroom game just recently?
Yeah, Camilla was
Yeah.
just talking about that, yeah.
What's that one called again?
You
Morels.
said it. There it is.
Morels, yeah.
That's a 2-player game. It's widely recognized as a very good game. I don't love it, but I know I'm in the minority on that
Widely
one.
recognized as the first 2-player game.
I was just going to say that, Joe.
Sorry, man.
You got it. It's all right.
Sorry, I'm
Snooze,
too
you lose.
quick.
You're
I'm
too
too quick
quick
for
on
you.
that.
I'm sorry.
This one is hard to elbow drop when my first inclination is to elbow drop the look of it, but
Yeah.
then another part of me is like, well, this is clearly one person's vision, and I kind of am okay with that. I don't find it visually appealing or aesthetically attractive, but I think there might be some people who do, and I do appreciate that they're kind of, some of the stuff in the rule book almost just looks like they took a magic marker, basically, and drew this stuff. But is there like a little bit of charm to that? I don't know. I'm right on the fence on this one.
Yeah, I'm
I
at the same
think-
spot.
Again, it's that feeling of someone. This is different from the cards one.
Right.
In maybe intent, maybe the cynicism is lacking here.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's something about this that feels more, and again, maybe I'm putting emotions where they
right.
don't belong or words in people's mouths. But there's something more earnest in this
Yeah.
than in something that is
Yeah.
saying, Magic the Gathering meets D&D and is
Right,
about
right.
to blow your mind.
Right.
This one is, I like drawing funky mushrooms. I made a card game. If you want it, back it.
And clearly somebody who's very knowledgeable
yeah.
of the subject, too.
Yeah.
It
I
definitely
don't
has
know.
a passion project
Right.
kind of feel. Like, I really enjoy this and I want to share it, and it has that home brewed passion feel to
Yeah.
it that doesn't, you can't help but be charmed by. But as a gamer, I'm like, I don't know or like this.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know.
I'm right on
Sure.
the fence on this one. Yeah.
How about you? How do you feel about shrooms?
Anyhow,
That's
the
a-
gig, the dice rolling game. Now, this one, on first blush, looks like one of those 70s games, and I think that font is made deliberately to do that.
It's supposed to
The
look
whole
like a
thing is supposed
60s
to-
jazz record. This looks like the Blue Note jazz albums. And I'm 100% in on it.
I did not
love
realize,
it.
I wasn't sold on this one. This is from Lewis Shaw, who did this series of games. I don't know what they're called, the series, but the Florence,
yeah.
Venice, and Ragusa.
Yeah.
And, he did Farsight, too.
I said, what's that one?
Farsight's a very overrated game, unfortunately. It's
I really like that cover.
Downsize. I remember that game. Anyway, lots of different games that he's done there. This doesn't look like any of his other ones.
No.
Right.
The only thing about this, and I do mean the only thing, because I'm
You love the music.
I'm kind of putting it out there. I
like
love this theme. I love this look, and I love the graphic
dice
design.
are great.
Yeah, they're
Everything
cool.
about this to me is great. Playtime, everything. The only thing is I don't tend to like real-time games, and this does have a real-time element.
Yes.
That's my only concern. Otherwise, I am like, let's play it now. You know what I mean? I love the look. I love the theme.
So I guess I had a question on that. When you had the main board, not your board where you're doing your solos things, but the main board, that's the real-time element where you're putting them on that same board. Okay, I couldn't figure out if you had your own boards or if it's one board.
You both. You've got your instrument, right? And then
marking shapes off on yours.
On your
to do solos. Yeah.
Okay.
I really like this look here of each of these.
Just seems like such a well finalized game. There's no area of it that wasn't scrutinized when it comes to the theme, the aesthetic, the ideas, telling a single story. That's what I like to see, whether I like that or not, and I don't care that much. Mike really is liking this. I looks cool. I might like it, but I'm not, I'm not that jazzed. But it looks well finalized, and I can definitely respect that.
All right, well, let's go to the next one.
We're just going to let that joke
That's how you do it.
belongs,
That's
right?
how you do it.
Survive unto daylight.
Chrissy.
Hey, it's been a while since we've taken a look at kind of a zombie-esque game. Although I swear I feel like I played this.
Well, you probably did. Have you checked what this is? There's another game. It took me a while to figure this out. There's another game called Just Until Daylight.
I thought so, yeah.
What game?
Which this is a remake, reworking of. If you go down long enough, you'll find that.
I was like, man, they're right there. Yeah.
Oh!
Why didn't I think to look at that? Because I was
No
like, man,
wonder.
this looks familiar.
I was like, the art, everything.
Yeah.
I feel like I played this before.
So you've played this?
I have.
What did you think?
Let's look it up.
That's a good sign.
I don't remember loving it.
It's a 10.
Yeah, Tom Vasil reviewed it, right? No, maybe I didn't review it. 7 games, Tom gives a thumbs down. Okay. Ooh, there's Nemo Rising in there too. Boom!
Oof.
Okay.
Oof.
Wait,
Quirky
You're
circus.
thinking Nemo's War, by the way, but
Oh, wait.
Nemo Rising.
Nemo Rising is a very different game. You're right.
Yeah.
So you didn't love it.
I did not. It was. I remember thinking it was too random.
It looks pretty random
does.
still. They did rework it, like I said, from what they're saying.
Yeah.
If you go down enough, they tell you what they took out and when they changed.
Okay, let's see.
Keep going. At some point, you see them side by side.
I guess I didn't go down far enough.
Keep going. Keep
Wait, where's my review? Okay.
keep going.
I like the art, by the way, a lot.
really
do.
like
I really like the
art.
art style.
I
That was
like
fun.
it very much. Yeah.
Yeah, the art's nice.
Where is it? That they really? There it is. There.
Oh, there we go. I didn't go this far.
Yeah, I got all the way down here because I actually was charmed by this. Even seeing that it looked pretty random. And they talk a little bit here about what they removed from one and removed from the old one, put in the new one. I like that now instead of dice, it sounds like you'd have a Gloomhaven type deck.
Okay.
Drawing for hits. Sure. It sounds like they reworked a couple of things. I just found it kind of charming. Definitely not a strategic looking game. But if I want to play a goofy, lighthearted coupe, yeah, maybe.
That's fantastic. You don't know what he's talking about. So, you should tell it because you caught it.
In the video, they're doing the voiceover for the video. It sounds like professional voiceover
Very well
artists.
done.
It is, yeah.
Very well done. And at one point, they're talking, and one of the characters says, "And now you can play with this expansion that introduces a story." And then another voice, a lady, says, "Oh, so now we can play competitive and coupe?"
Well, to be fair, we went to that. I remember we went to a restaurant one time called the Coop, and I was like, the co-op. It took me the longest time to figure it out.
Chicken coupe, got it.
Yeah, it was a chicken co-op. I was like, what's a co-op?
I know, yeah.
I had it on my brain.
I get it.
This is pretty awesome
looks
here.
cool.
Did you see this? If you bought the original game, they'll upgrade your pledge for free. You send a picture of the original game.
That's pretty fantastic.
That's pretty
actually.
nice.
That's
that
actually.
is
It's a
really
classy
cool.
move. That's
That
the
is
way
a
to
very
do it.
classy move.
That's
man.
how you do it. I really like the look, man. I
I would
don't
give
know.
this
There's
another
something
chance
about
because
this.
I don't remember hating it. I just remember I found problems with it. Maybe the new one's better.
Maybe it'll go from a thumbs down to a sideways thumb.
Oh.
Bringing back Shades of Miami dice there. All right.
1.5 zombie arms up.
Now this one's getting a ton of buzz online from people talking about it, and it's not funding that as well as I thought.
Well, here's the thing. After saying those things, they all went blind.
Yes, it's like sensory overload.
Oh my goodness.
That's why you need the other parts of your brain to
You
balance
like it?
Really?
Gee, I wonder why.
Don't be rude. I'm wearing a traditional tie today that has
really
meatballs on
Nice
it.
tie.
I'm really conflicted on this. Kramer Kiesling,
Yeah.
Kramer Kiesling, abstractish strategy game, right? That those things go together very well.
Well, definitely Kiesling, but
yeah,
yes.
for sure. This doesn't feel like it should be a however many bucks, big deluxe Kickstarter-y or GameFound type game. This feels like it should be a direct-to-retail $40 game.
Gotta pay for that Bakelite.
This is definitely Game Brewer here. This is
too much.
I'm
for
a
this
big fan
game.
of this, but Game Brewer has been I'm a little worried sometimes that their games are overdone, overwrought. What's the one that I just played from Game Brewer? Oh, Rule Benders.
Rule Benders.
Rule
Ooh.
Benders.
Oh, that was Game Brewer?
It was.
Oh, let's just make this clear.
This is scarier.
Tom didn't like that game. I hate it. You hated it too.
I gave it a 3.
I would have
Yeah,
given
but
it a
we
2.
would have both come in at a 2.
We would have both come in at a 2.
Spoiler alert.
It's terrible.
It's a 2.
Yeah. And I'm with you also that this is just
You
like...
dodged that bullet,
I
right?
did, yeah. I was busy that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is check your rods and cones at the door. I mean, this is making my brain melt.
I
I
couldn't.
really like
I
it.
can't play
really
this.
do.
The only way I can play this is after Shrooms, which was earlier today. You go back and check that out.
Right.
No, yeah, I couldn't even process. Like,
I think
the
this looks
gameplay.
great.
I mean, I
Actually.
think... Gosh,
That looks good right
Yeah,
there.
the
That wooden
art-
piece. I like that wooden piece.
I don't think the art is bad, but I just think there's too much of it here. It's just overwhelming. It looks like, remember those old like day glow posters that you would have in your room?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
It's like a kaleidoscope. But
Yeah, I feel like you can't see the difference between
Yeah.
the board and the tokens and stuff because of
That's
the
the issue,
jumping
too.
colors, and so it's just like it's overloading.
And
to
there's
me.
symbols and icons, and you're gonna have to
Yeah.
keep track of that stuff with all of that,
Right.
day glow vomit going on. No.
I really don't. I'm not feeling this one at all. It might be a great game, but whoa.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
didn't-
look at this.
I didn't
really
make it to the
can't.
game because of So,
all right.
It's all you, Tom.
DRAGONWAKE. At first I thought this was made by that company that makes that
Dragoon?
Dragoon.
Yeah, it's not
Same
like
look,
waves.
same look though. Yeah,
Well,
you're right.
not only is it the same look as that,
Uh-huh.
it also in many ways seems to be the same game
Uh-huh.
as Don't Mess with Cthulhu.
Right, or Time Bomb.
Time
I've,
Bomb.
game.
I've heard about that. There's a lot of people yelling about this because it does feel
really?
like they straight up stole the game.
I don't know. I haven't checked, but I'm like, man, this seems very familiar.
And they've publicly said that they made this after playing that.
Oh, did they?
That's
On the page, they say that?
I've read about
Oh,
this. I don't know
okay.
if it says it on the page. When I got to this one, I'm like, I know what this is. I'm moving on. But there was a lot of chatter about how the folks behind this have said that they played Don't Mess with Cthulhu, Time Bomb, same game.
Yeah.
It was unavailable. They made one just to mess with it. And then they evolved that until it became its own game. And that one, I will divorce myself from that if that is its own game enough
Okay.
for other people to decide that.
That's a tough one. I mean,
That's a tough
you
call.
can do that sort of thing.
Sure. It happens a lot, actually.
But it is not a coincidence, is what I'm
Okay,
saying. You know,
okay.
it's not a coincidence that this seems to be very much like Don't Mess with Cthulhu. It is based on that.
Okay. All right. Well, at least it's been acknowledged, I suppose. I didn't see
I
it on
don't
the
know
page.
if that's better, Mike, but yes.
Well, again, there's this whole idea of you can't copyright rules, right?
I get
Sure.
that, but that doesn't mean you should take them either.
I agree, but there have been some very popular games. I mean, I don't, I don't want to get too inside here,
Oh.
but there are other games where
Let's
this
move
kind of
on.
stuff happens. You know?
All right.
Huh.
Microcrime, a roll and write investigation game, $1 USD, which is what they spent on that picture.
You think?
No.
I almost skipped this. Again, but it has 949 backers. But man, I hate that thumbnail. I was just like, ugh,
It's pretty
so
terrible.
boring.
So
It's pretty
bad.
terrible.
Now, the fact that
It's
it's
a
only $1.
buck.
Right.
I know, but come on, can you at least make it look a little
man.
nicer?
There's nothing wrong with this. Just give them your information, and for $1, they'll send you the game. Just $1. All we need is your name and address. And for a single $1, we'll send you a completed game.
Now, I didn't go into this too much because, frankly, it looks terrible, but I think the idea is supposedly that you roll dice, you fill out stuff, and you turn one of the rooms of your house into a murder scene, and you just take stuff from your house to be the evidence. So it's like,
that's super creepy.
there's the murder weapon right
Right.
there. Yeah, so it's just like,
It's like an evolving game. It kind of starts like a roll and write, and
Right.
then goes into RPG, and then becomes a LARP, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like it's like, oh,
And then I have to stare at my living room going,
right.
well, what would it look like if someone died right there on that couch?
Right.
No,
Yeah.
it's creepy.
that is a little bit odd, right?
Oh.
I could do that.
Yeah?
Like, kids, gather around. One of you gonna die.
Oh my God. What is wrong with you? Yeah, no, this is. But again, if it looks good to you and the idea sounds different, yeah, it's a buck.
It's $1.
Yeah.
There you go.
Duo dice, more than just dice. As a heads up,
It's just
no, they're
dice.
just
They're
dice.
dice.
I don't know what they're.
I love that. I
Definitely
love
dice,
it.
Yeah.
Okay, so these look a little cool, but I bought. This is not a new concept. These have been out for 20 years.
Have they with the plus and minus thing there? You
No,
get
but
two
the
dice?
actual die inside a
Right,
die.
for two
Okay.
dice.
They even have 3 dice inside a die. There's all kinds of combos, and I'll tell you what, they never work
Yeah.
because that middle die doesn't roll enough.
I would
It
think
just
so.
doesn't. And it also, they're really unsatisfying because it has to be big enough for that die to roll around.
Sure.
So it's this big clunky die. I'm telling you, every time I roll it, I feel like
It feels a little
it's
cheap.
unsatisfying.
It's a little cheap, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I do like that system. The whole
a neat
plus
idea,
or
right?
minus one minus the other
Kinda
gives
like
you a
that idea.
differential roll. That's a neat idea.
Yeah, that is a neat idea.
I
Yeah,
don't
but you
know
can also
how-
do that with 2 dice.
Yeah, of course,
Sure.
100%. But this is one die.
It's still 2 dice. It's just one's inside the other.
You
Well,
only
and
have
it's
to roll
also-
one die.
It does randomize what, as stupid as it sounds, it does randomize whether it's a sum or a difference too.
Yeah.
Because depending on what side is up, you look at the red or the blue.
Again,
but then
2
it's-
dice can still do that.
It can't,
then
but
the-
you're
It's
not
3
you're not
dice.
randomly deciding whether you're adding those 2 dice or subtracting
I mean,
them.
certain numbers are always going to be plus or minus because the 6, for example, is always red, so it's
that's
always
true.
going to be minus.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, what are you talking about? How can you not do that with 2 dice? It literally is 2 dice.
Yeah, I
More
get
random
it.
would be
I
3
get
dice.
it.
Take one out of
plus or
the other.
minus.
Right.
and roll them.
Yep. Have we
Moderators.
Have we banned the?
All right. Anyway, the color numbering system. Move backwards with negative numbers. That's an even more fun way to
Yeah,
play
that's
Monopoly. Can you
fantastic.
Oh,
imagine?
I know. I saw them talking about the dice in the video. So I'm like, we're really cool. And then when they got to all the examples of what you'd use these in, they're all Monopoly.
Right.
I'm like, oh.
I think nothing would be more fun than landing on Boardwalk with
And then
a hotel and then staying there.
That's fantastic. I can tell you what the murder weapon would be in that last one.
It would be the duo
It
dice.
would be the duo dice.
Alrighty, this is a novelty, but obviously
Yeah.
people like it. I would buy these because I collect dice.
Yeah, I guess that's
But
true.
I don't even know if I have any of those duo dice that I used. They're probably in the drawer there, but I just hate them.
I don't know if that would feel like that plastic on plastic in there. Like, I don't.
They're clacky.
Tactilely, I don't think I like that.
Use them as castanets.
All right, Wars of Religion, France, 1562 to 1598.
So how long was this one?
That's the 12-day war.
That guy's
We're
all
done.
dressed up there, though. Jerome in full costume.
Yeah.
He's
It's a
loving
good
it.
look. It's a good look.
That's
That
the
is not
murder,
We need to bring that back. We need to
murder
bring that
scene
look
right
back.
there.
Okay, anyway, you know
Yeah,
if you want this or not.
that's correct, you do.
We'll move on. She does not buy it.
That image. Oof.
All right.
This
A
is a
one-of-a-kind,
South Florida project.
multi-cornered-
Did you notice
Yeah,
that?
I was gonna ask, where's is South
It says
Florida
South
a place?
Florida. Well,
No, like a city.
It's a
like,
state
is
of
there a
mind
city?
is what it is.
Nope, I'm talking to Mike. Nope.
Well, let me answer that.
No, is South Florida? Like, is there a South Florida, which is a city?
not that I'm aware of.
Okay, all right.
Like it's made of Professor Edward and a few of his favorite students.
Yeah.
If I
So
was
if you
one
were
of the
part of this
students-
project, you suck.
I like to claim some problems here.
Yeah.
Can all of my favorite students step forward? Not so fast, Billy.
Unfortunately, these are also not new. This kind of dice has been done by other dice manufacturers, but I can imagine you don't come across these very often, so I can see this professor saying, oh, well, we didn't know. That's legit.
On these here, I just don't know how you read those dice.
They're not easy to read.
To me, that's like
hard.
really annoying.
What about when it's like 16? That's a terrible numbering system on that particular die.
There's one specific picture of it that was really,
this
really
now this
terrible.
coloring is one of the few colorings I like, but I don't like this ring there.
Just you have to read the very specific wedge that is facing off. It's a little tricky.
Yeah,
and the ring of numbers sequentially next to each other also is hard to visualize the dividing line.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it's
'cause they're
unfortunate.
kinda rounded.
It's cool looking dice.
It works with smaller amounts of faces.
Yeah.
You're rolling a D20 with 10 faces per cone. That's a little much at that point.
Yeah.
Well, they
They look
stop.
neat, though.
They stop with the D10. The D10 is the last one to do this.
Yeah.
The D12 then goes to a different polyhedron. Anyway, you can learn more about polygonal double cones. So there's that.
Oh, well, that's
Double
important.
cones. Double cone.
This one irritated me a little bit.
Double your
Adventure of Arts, the
pleasure.
trading card game. It didn't irritate me for the reason you might think, because again, it's another trading card game. But this irritated me because it actually takes the time to give us a little bit about the how it plays.
Yeah.
And the other ones never do, and yet they fund millions sometimes.
Oh, so you're annoyed that it's not
interesting.
doing better.
Well, I mean, this one does not look good. I'm sure it's part of it. It doesn't have all that fancy artwork.
Which is interesting because he went out of his way to make a point like, hey, are you tired of how
that's
terrible
generic.
games are these days and everything's generic? Here's the solution.
I don't love his art. I don't like his graphic design style. I just thought it was nice that he actually explained this, because we always look at these card games and go, how do they play?
Right,
Yeah.
and then they make $800,000 or more. I agree. I think the artwork here is hurting. I think a lot of people will speculate on these if they look flashy,
Yeah.
and then sit on that and hope it goes up in price. I'm guessing. This one doesn't have the look to carry it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It might be a good game, but it's not a looker, I think.
Nah, I'm not in love with it, but it's not my style of game anyway. But
Well, Chris is not here, so he cannot rave about Aeon's End past and future. So we'll pass it to Mike. Mike!
all right, get out your haterade. Get out
Mike's
your
having a
big
good
gulp of
day.
hater. I'm so sick of Aeon's End.
Well,
It's
let me count how many they've done.
every other week,
One,
it seems like they're coming
two,
out with one of these.
3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like there's only 6.
And that was just last week. I don't know. It just.
No,
it's-
I think there's at least one, or I think the first one.
yeah.
Maybe there's only 6. No, there's more than 6. I think some of them have not been kickstarted.
I don't know. It's just, I guess, and I will state that I have played the base game a little bit. It did not do a whole lot for me. I didn't find it to be all that innovative. It's like, oh, you don't shuffle your deck. Oh, okay. That's, I guess, okay. Nothing about it really did a whole lot for me, but I understand, that people do love it. But it's like, how many cards do you need? Each one of these is hundreds and hundreds of cards.
I like Dominion. Well, I agree with you on this one, but that's only because I'm not a big fan of the game. If you were a fan of the game, I might like it.
Right.
My problem with Aeon's End is when I look at these expansions, they all look the same to me.
Right.
We have the newest one. It's sitting on Chris's desk because again, he's the only person. Well, I guess
Alright,
Wendy.
yeah.
Him and Wendy will play it.
Right.
No, unless you guys had wanted it. I'm sorry, I assumed.
I've never played.
I've never played it. Yeah,
Aeon's
no,
End.
Oh, I wonder if you would like it. You might.
No.
The problem with it is like there's so much for it. I don't know where to get in at. Like where do
Yeah.
you start? Like
you
at
can
this
start-
point I'm like I don't know. I'm out just because
Start with the
where do I
legacy.
Yeah,
start?
you're right. Like
You should
this.
start
But
with
if you-
Legacy.
If
And
you
play
ask
through the
anybody,
whole
they tell you a
Legacy
different
campaign.
answer though, and you're like, where do you start? And I'm like, well then
I've
I'm good.
asked
I'm
them
just
people
gonna do
I got
something else.
Dominion. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well then
This guy,
I'm
right?
yeah.
All right.
No, Legacy is the first Legacy because there's 2 Legacies now, which is also confusing.
Seriously?
Yes.
They
which
made
also-
2 legacy
Which
games?
wasn't in that list, by the way. But
The first Legacy takes stuff out of the game.
Okay.
So you start with less than the full game.
Oh, interesting.
So if you're learning, that's not a terrible way
Yeah.
to do so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
look, it's a fine game. I mean, it's not like I hate the game. I just don't get.
Oh,
quite
here it is.
What,
They're in waves.
yeah,
That's what it is.
I just don't quite get the appeal. But look, that happens
Mike-
all the time.
You don't shuffle your deck.
You don't shuffle your deck. Also,
How can you not like that?
See, that bothers me. I think that's a big hang-up. Like, I haven't played it, like, mentally, I'm like,
Well, it's supposed to be
so much pressure to do it right.
Well, that's the thing. It's a strategic thing. It's like trying to massage it so that you get the cards that you know they're going to be where you want them to be. Which, if that's your style, you're going to like that. If
Don't worry, since it's a co-op game, no one will yell at you.
No one will yell at you, right? I don't know. Look, I know that I'm the outlier here because the reason that these keep getting crowdfunded is because they keep selling. They keep making money. So
I'm pretty sure that other than like Resistance and Coup, this is a big moneymaker for indie boards and cards.
Sure.
Well, and I guess Terraforming Mars.
Right.
Anyway, we say all that too. If you like it, you already bought it. So you didn't need us to tell
this
you.
is not necessarily a jumping on point for anybody, I don't think.
Especially since I think this one is a expansion anyway. It's not even a base.
All right, burger and beer.
There you go.
Cards.
See,
There you go.
All right,
You
now
kept
this
hitting
one
me with a 1-2 punch this week.
All right, I actually thought. I'm not kidding. I thought you would like the sketch ones. I really did.
Okay.
I did not think you would like this one.
No.
I just put this in here because it made me laugh. So, burger and beer, baby.
I mean, these look more in line with the usual professional look I want from a collectible custom deck of cards.
Pickles and mustard all over your cards.
Embossed boxes, foiled, printing,
That's such an American card.
you're not
That's so American.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Look at that Ace of Spades. It's a burger with a crown atop it. Worship the meat, the burger meat.
And then that's the other one.
And
Those
beer.
two are like.
I hate the colors.
They should have had the burger on the king. Do they have the burger on the king?
Yeah.
They all have a burger.
Burger King! That's what I did there? That's a Burger King.
Oh, I got it. Yeah,
Craft
this looks
beer.
awful, man. It's really bad.
That's definitely not Heineken. All right.
Even I know that. I don't drink beer. All right, sorry. I was trolling you a little bit, but it's
so
also doing
bad.
pretty well.
Wait, Fast Food playing cards. Have they made other ones?
Yeah, we actually even covered another one of their things, I think.
Are you laughing at me?
There's gonna be
No,
a.
I noticed it. I noticed that FFP stood for
Okay,
Fast Food Playing
we
Cards,
definitely talked
We-
but I
about.
didn't click.
We're looking at all of them now.
We 100% covered that.
Ketchup and fries. I remember this one.
Jeez.
Yeah, I remember that one.
We did.
That looks like an Uno card.
Those are
this
pretty
looks
terrible,
awful.
actually.
What else
All
we
right.
got? Okay, so
We
far
got
FFPs.
hot dog and mustard.
Oh.
Which already is
I'm buying this for Mike for
nothing.
Christmas in his stocking.
Let's see these. Okay, so far these are my favorite ones. I like the backs. Oh.
Those are pretty creepy. Those.
Okay. These are the best ones so far for me.
What about these? These are the jokers. Just some mustard. We're not done yet. These actually look. Those boxes look fine.
The popcorn
and
could be
cola.
good. I don't like the image of popcorn. It looks like an actual still of popcorn.
Oh, you like that back. You love the backs of those cards.
Do you like that glare?
If it was drawn, that'd be good.
Are they eating popcorn?
It doesn't.
Yeah,
look-
they're holding
No, they're holding. No, they need to be
popcorn.
like.
No, if they were like
Good
throwing a piece
shot.
of
Yeah,
popcorn in their mouth.
exactly.
That'd be awesome.
They should be picking their teeth, is what they should be doing.
Or that.
That color combo's pretty good. The Coke ones.
Yeah, these are okay. It's just so weird. Talk about picking a really small, narrow field.
I also think if you're gonna
Focus
make
on.
cola,
Fast food.
they made that look. They're lucky this is small enough that Coke doesn't
Right.
come after them because
yeah.
that's pretty close on that
Yeah,
one.
it's quite close.
The Jokers. Oh, those are terrible Jokers. All right,
All right, yeah.
that's it for board games. Let's take a look at non-board game stuff.
All right.
Okay, I think this might be an easy one to mock, and I actually didn't put this in here to mock because I thought this was not a terrible idea actually.
No, I don't.
This guy made a cup with a thermometer so I could see how hot the stuff is. I say this as someone who scalds their mouth consistently.
My only question with this is
I don't
why a
understand.
paper cup? Because you can buy them, they're like 50 cents a cup, which is probably, not that outrageous for. But why not just make this a plastic cup with this thing built in?
Yeah.
Yeah, if this was
thought that too.
manufactured, I'm assuming because this is a, I don't know, I'm guessing here. This looks like a strip that is taped to the outside of a paper cup.
Right.
That is sensitive to different temperatures and will warp the strip of metal that's in there and show you a color.
Right.
This is a one-time use thing.
Yeah.
Right. So if this is not a bad idea at all. I assume these things do exist. But yes, if it was a plastic reusable cup with a thermometer built into it, sure.
Which probably exists.
Or
That's
they're
what I'm
marketing
saying.
wrong, and that they need to go for McDonald's or something like that, and this is the cup that they then serve their coffee in it, so they don't get sued.
So they don't get
Not
sued.
referring to anything specific.
That 80s.
Okay, he's referring to something specific.
Rumor thing? No, that was always the thing. I always heard people talk about whenever they'd say Litigation America Today. Did you know? I'm like, yes, I heard about McDonald's.
And let me tell you, man, they're not afraid to put stuff in cups, because if you go to like Universal or Disney, they're going to make sure that if you get a one-time drink, they've got something in your cup.
That's true.
To make sure you can't get a second drink. So these things
how
exist.
hot do you drink your tea?
Really hot.
Like just shy of.
See, you're like Tiffany, man.
you actually boil the water. So you pour it. Do you drink it immediately?
I sip it immediately, yeah. I mean, I test it. It doesn't touch, because you test it. It's like how much steam is coming off. So you pull it up to your mouth. Nope, still too much. So it's like I have my own.
Tiffany will drink the
I have my own thermometer gauge.
That's so much smarter than what I do.
Put
I'm
it on
like, too
Kickstarter.
hot.
Too much steam.
Human
it's not
thermometer.
Ready. Yeah. I mean, if you drink it enough, then you know, like, ooh, that's too hot. I can tell because it's in my mug I always use. Or it's
but
like,
if
the
it said
steam.
a number on the side, or show maybe a little face. A little face with you like at the top is fire, and then sad under that.
Right.
How hot do you
then
like
disappointed.
I don't like it that hot. As a matter of fact,
So chocolate milk.
no, not exactly. I mean, Tiffany will drink molten lava, like literally,
Like
out of the mouth of a volcano.
like you have to do the dance.
We would get coffees, and I would take the whole drive home. It would be like a 20-minute drive, and I would drink it when we got home. She would drink it the second, like it'd be out of the window. She's drinking it.
Just pour it in.
So I don't like it that hot.
Straight from the coffee pot.
Matter of fact, since I moved here, I've gone to iced coffee. So
And you don't like hot drinks at all,
I
right?
do not like it. No, if I want it
I'm
to
in
be
between.
cold.
I like it hot, but I've been scolded too many
I
times.
don't want to
that
burn the roof of my mouth, right?
I will say
Or
different
your
liquids are
tongue.
different.
Oh.
Like if it's milk, like if it's a really hot milk-based drink, those are harder to gauge. So that would be helpful there.
All right. I think these are cool. Glowbots.
These
The
are
whatever
great.
you
These
want,
are really
buildable
cool.
art robot. I'm surprised these aren't doing better.
But they want me to make my own design?
are
No,
3D light
man.
brights, man.
I'm
These
not
are
This
that
is a
smart.
light bright.
Yeah, it's
a
3D
three-dimensional.
No,
Why do you
yeah,
like
but
it?
the
Why is it
bright.
awful?
Because they're right there. Because of the spacing in between all the lights, I think it's going to look bad.
You know what?
No, they show
You don't-
pictures of it. It looks good.
Yeah,
These are all
cool.
renderings.
No. There's actual pictures in
The
here.
only thing I didn't like about it is you see when he's building it and he's
Right
in
there.
the dark and it's in the light and
Yeah.
it's like you see the bright lights coming through the holes. I'm like,
Yeah, it does
oh,
kinda
it would be, like,
regulate, I
burning,
think,
right.
eventually.
I'm not loving it. No, maybe you're right. I'm not a light bright person.
I think my kids would really like to play with this for a week.
You know
Yeah,
what this
right,
looks
right,
like?
right.
Like I said, I loved Light Bright for 2.5 minutes. You know,
Yeah.
and then it was like, oh.
This looks like Pictionary Man. Remember when they put up Pictionary
my
Man?
gosh,
It was the
that's
same
right.
shape.
It was.
He's got the big head.
But
and
my
the-
kids do like putting these. This is really big right now. There's these big puzzles that you can put in that are like a single Lego, like get a portrait of yourself on the wall.
Yeah.
People like it.
I think we should get a couple of sets of the 3 bots and make representations of all of us.
So, and finally, the Arctic Adventure Blanket for active sleepers.
Puffle Zero, baby.
Puzzle Zero.
This one's doing really well. It's a pretty funny.
Do you know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of those old military blankets. Do you know what I'm talking about? The really thin ones that had the same material on the
Yeah.
outside. I mean, they last for like 900 years. Not exaggerating
You
at
are.
all. No, maybe a little bit. But you know what I'm talking about? The camel ones,
I
with
do
the
know what you're
really
talking
bright
about.
ones. Like these remind me so much of that. Outside of it didn't have the snaps; it had ties.
You know why I think it's doing well, Tom? It's because like this is like the 5th or 6th one of these they've done. They've gotten progressively
Colder.
better rated for the cold.
Right. Yeah, it was like Puffle 55, which was
Right.
garbage.
That being said, I do not believe that it's the most comfortable blanket in the world, if only because if that was true, they'd be sold in stores, and I have a really comfortable soft blanket. They mean the most comfortable outdoor blanket.
Sure,
There's a big difference.
it's an adventure blanket. Yeah,
It's an adventure blanket.
Right, yeah.
I will never buy me one of these. I will never use it outside.
I'm going to give you this.
You won't use this outside?
I won't go outside.
Hot dog,
sleep
and-
inside.
Hot dog
That's
and
fair.
mustard cards in there.
My biggest question is, do the snaps, because you snap them together, does that really retain the
But-
heat? You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I was thinking more like they say for active sleeper, but then you
Yeah.
give me snaps.
They're gonna fly
Nah,
off,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
so.
Pretty sure they didn't mean active sleeper
Again,
anyway.
it's just
but-
I agree, yeah.
the only thing that's retaining heat is the air trapped in between the blanket inside or outside, so it doesn't matter.
I'm just gonna buy these for my kids and say you're all sleeping in the same bag.
together.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's holes in
This would
between
complement
snaps.
the,
Right,
hammock
and
So if
really
there's
good.
a breeze, you'll get air.
Right.
But technically, the air trapped in between one layer and the other one heating up from you, it's really the only thing that keeps you warm. So a little airflow in there shouldn't be. This is Puffle Zero, Mike.
That's
You're
true.
not understanding
It is
me.
Puffle Zero. I'm just thinking, if I want to be an active sleeper on a glacier, you know what I mean? I want to make sure that I've got
You
all
don't
my...
fall off. I think you should stay.
It might melt underneath you. It's so warm.
This is actually very slippery looking, too. I got to imagine this wouldn't be very good sleeping on a glacier. You're
You
going to
can
be...
start sleeping at the top of a mountain, perhaps. Wake up at the bottom.
Cross your legs.
Wake up at home.
All right. If you have weird and interesting and silly projects, please send them to me at tom@dicetower.com. So,
Oh, I love it.
all right, picks of the week. I have no idea what people are going to pick. I think I know what Mike's going to pick because he raved about it.
Yeah, mine is... Let's not even mess
What
around.
is yours?
Mine
Yours
is
is-
The Gig, 100%. I'm super,
good.
super, super, super excited about
Is anyone
this.
else on this?
It's a solo gig.
Well, it can be played solo. It's not only a solo
No, I
game.
mean, you're the only one picking it.
That's fine. No, this looks terrific. I'm putting a little bit of worry about the real time, but
Yeah.
other than that, I could not.
This was my number 2. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Well, I'll do my number 1 because I'm the only person to pick mine too, and that's because it is. Where is it?
Awful.
Puffle Zero.
No.
Shrooms?
I want one of those puffles.
It's this one. I like this. I don't
Oh,
care what
that's
y'all
right.
say. I like the colors.
Amygdala.
The Amygdala. Yeah.
I like this. I'm actually surprised. I guess I'm not surprised that no one else. I think the box looks great. I think the game is super colorful. I am so on board with that color splash in your eyeballs.
They also make ties. I don't know if you knew that. This is all you. Tom.
No, and also I do like the Kramer Kiesling combo.
I do too. I mean, that's the one thing. Is like it's going to be well designed.
Sure. I get that.
I'm just gonna leave this here until someone else gives me their pick of the week.
All right, I'm going to go with that zombie one.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Really?
There you go.
It is.
Oh,
Wait, is it the same
I
zombie
gotta
one?
find
We
where
only
it's
had one zombie
at.
one.
They
right?
only had the one zombie
yeah.
one. Yeah, the remake of Until Darkness Returns or whatever.
Survive the night.
Return of the Darkness.
Yeah.
I'll find it. There
Chupacabra
it is.
Survive the Night. That's the
There you
one.
go.
Survive until daylight.
What I said. Yep.
I like the artwork. I know it's it's its own thing, and I know some people would look at this and go, don't like anything about it. I get that. But I really like the artwork here. I'm not honestly sure I'm going to like this game. I'm not. It seems kind of like it could be dumb. But I'm enjoying the vibe. There's something silly, something lighthearted here, something of that kind of zombie genre, as opposed to like the in a world kind of zombie genre that I'm enjoying here. So this is one I'd like to try.
Okay.
And I think like with the randomness, I didn't know about the game prior or anything like that. I had no idea this was the remake or re-edition. But I did note the randomness, but it has that kind of push your luck element, where you're gathering up until that wave comes and then you push it and reshuffle that back in to keep going, and so I think I really like that combo where it is that randomness, but you have a little bit of that decision space as well, so I don't know, it didn't really bother me. Again, short playtime, cooperative. I think it checked a lot of boxes. I'm excited about it.
The thing that pushed it over the edge for me was that it was a reworking of the previous one.
And they said that pretty blatantly too.
They did, right. And I'm like, you know what? Because I was a little wishy-washy on this being my pick. As I was going through them all, I'm like, okay, this looks cool. I like the whole weird, funky zombie drawings and what's going on. But when they said this was out, we're reworking it, we've changed it up. So they've had 2 stabs at this. Okay. You know what I mean? I feel better about that than if this was the first time they're trying to make this game. They've really made it twice now. I'm hoping the second one's good.
All right.
All right, folks. Well, that is the end of Crowdsurfing. It's also the end of our normal schedule. All right, we have some game. There might be another review going up today, but starting tomorrow at 9 o'clock, we're doing our, I would say annual, but it's been several years since we've done a 30-hour marathon. Starts at 9 a.m. tomorrow, goes to 9 p.m. Friday. That's 36 hours, but we're taking 2 3-hour breaks in there. There'll be various people on camera all at that time. A couple special guests, a couple of us. Chris and Wendy are back for that, and We don't know we don't even know all the games. We know a couple of the games and stuff. You'll see what games are on. Come join us. Have fun. We'll see you tomorrow at 9. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
And I'm Mike Alessio.
Have fun when you're active sleeping.
Yeah, sure.